Welcome viewers, Dr. J.W. Ayub, theologist. Since 1994, the life of Muhammad and the verified revelation structure of the people of the book. Episode 34, the bargaining of the soul and the Muslim. The negotiation no longer feels temporary, now it feels necessary. The Muslim listener still functions outwardly, still attends, still repeats, still belongs, but internally the bargaining has already begun. In the previous episode, conscience inside Muhammad's Islamic ideology system became managed beneath preservation pressure. In this episode, the pressure moves deeper again into the Muslim's bargaining of the soul. Because once conscience learns how to survive beside contradiction, the person slowly begins trading truth for emotional safety. Not openly, quietly, incrementally. A concern gets opposed, a contradiction gets minimized, a warning gets softened. The Muslim inside the authority structure starts calculating internally. How much truth can I ignore and still remain safe inside this Islamic ideology? How much tension can I carry without losing my belonging? What must I sacrifice to keep my life stable in this structure? And that mechanism becomes extraordinarily dangerous because the Muslim slowly adapts to unresolved religious contradiction. Not through rebellion first, through compromise. The atmosphere no longer requires constant visible pressure. The fear already lives inside the Muslim. The room remains calm, the language remains religious, but inwardly, negotiation is replacing Islamic conviction. Muhammad's Islamic ideological system initially associated itself with the people of the book to help establish legitimacy, recognition, and collaboration across communities. But the sacred meanings carried among the people of the book were concerned with stopping the inward corruption of sin itself, not exonerating themselves. And viewers, that distinction becomes critically important because the people of the book repeatedly warn that externally managed righteousness within religious ideological structures cannot stop inward corruption from playing out through them and those like them. The people of the book warn that performance-based religion eventually goes wrong and ends badly, even catastrophically. Because where righteousness becomes performance, sin becomes the master. It is aroused. It is strengthened. It is released. and eventually defended beneath religious identity itself. That's where sin hides, under the identity. And what Muhammad didn't claim from the people of the book was that sin seizes opportunity through what we believe makes Allah happy or stops him from being sad. Adultery, hidden desire preserved beneath controlled religious appearance. Self-righteousness, moral superiority masking inward contradiction. Dissensions, relational fracture growing beneath enforced unity. And that is the warning carried among the people of the book that Muhammad missed. Works-based religion may regulate behavior publicly in the group, but privately sin seizes opportunity wherever appetite remains active, fear governs behavior, performance replaces transformation, because inward corruption survives beneath religious identity. The people of the book exposed the danger directly, 600 years before Muhammad, 570 years before Muhammad. In Romans 8:7 they wrote, sin seizing opportunity through the commandment, through the things they thought they needed to do to make Allah happy or stop him from being sad. It gave sin opportunity. And the Qur'anic submission structure repeatedly reinforces unquestioned obedience beneath religious authority. Quran 4:59, obey Allah and obey the Messenger. Easy to say. And that reinforcement matters enormously because once emotional safety becomes psychologically tied to obedience itself, unresolved contradiction increasingly becomes something the Muslim adherent bargains with privately rather than confronts honestly. And eventually, another realization begins surfacing quietly inside the Muslim listener. If the soul must continually negotiate truth to preserve the structure, what exactly is the structure preserving? Nevertheless, for the Muslim, the face remains composed, the routine remains stable, but inwardly, the soul is already paying the price of Islamic ideology. I'm Dr. JWA, theologist since 1994. Like and subscribe. Press the bell if you want. Comment to educate me, share the video to help somebody else, and I'll see you in the next episode.